Welcome, my friends, to YouTooSpain Live. This week, I'll be welcoming a brand new guest to the show. You very nearly saw her 2 weeks ago, but she was taken ill that day. But now I'm very glad to say she's very well again. She is Maria, the lawyer from Madrid. So how exciting. You'll see her in a moment. She'll be answering your questions and mine about moving to the capital city and that region of central Spain and living there. And I'm sure you'll learn something and enjoy the show wherever you want your Spanish dream to take you, and you'll hear Maria's own story of what it's like to live there. So join us on the live chat over there or down there, depending on which device you are watching, and in the comments below, because you are a part of this too. You are welcome to YouTooSpain. Run the theme music and let's dance. That is groovy. And speaking of groovy, let's meet my guest for today. It's Maria Galgao from My Lawyer Abroad. Let's bring her on the screen now. Good morning, Maria.
Good morning, Skatz. How's everything? How's everybody?
Very, very good. Thank you over here. It's an unusual day in Spain. It's cloudy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we don't get a lot down here on the south coast. But did you have the storms up there in Madrid? I thought centre of Spain and the north of Spain got a bit of the edge of the hurricane, didn't it?
Yeah, we did a bit. We had a bit of issues with the storm, but it's okay. We are kind of trying to recover.
That's good. And let's have a look on the live chat, see who's with us so far. Paul Cook, good morning, Skatz and Maria. Barry from Unitech says good morning to you all. And Anton Kez, A&K, say hola todos. And the usual FOF, peas and fluff, BG staying alive, I will survive. These are all the recovering from cancer phrases that appear on my other channel as well. But thanks, Anton Kez, for joining us today. They live in France. And they're not like they were going to move to Spain last year, I think possibly the year before as well, but some things got in the way, so they're staying in France for a bit, but they're still avid fans of the channel, and it's wonderful to have their support. So great, we'll have more people joining us, I'm sure, in a minute and saying hello on the live chat. So it's great to have you on the show, Maria, and it's great to be focused on Madrid and central Spain a lot, because a lot of my guests have been from the south of Spain, because that's where lots of retiree expats, I don't want to call them expats, I keep having complaints about calling them expats instead of immigrants, which is what we all are. So anyway, today, I say hello to E9 Hug. Morning, Skatz and Maria from sunny Mazaron, that's up in Murcia. And Yogi, hello, good morning. And Yogi says, remember to like this video. Yes, click on the like button. And Anton Kez says, storms all week. That's up in France. So yes, you had it worse than us. We've just had some clouds and a little bit of rain and some gusts at night down here. It didn't really reach us in the south. So we'll find out what's different about moving to the capital city and the heartland of Spain today. So first of all, though, let's introduce yourself properly first. Tell us briefly about yourself and what you do, Maria.
Hi, everybody. This is Maria. I'm a lawyer in Madrid. I work as a lawyer since like 8 years ago. As I were commenting to Skatz before our official meeting here, I fell into this world because my parents, they reached pension age, they wanted to pension, and they reached a sunny place. So my sisters and I, we were not in an age of decision making, so we were just brought here. We did our life, our school, our everything here. Mm-hmm. And in my case, I decided to follow law as a life path. And when I finished, I was a bit of wondering what should I do, because especially in Madrid, there are like 100,000 plus lawyers, maybe around 100,000, like 150,000 right now around.
Wow.
So there are plenty of lawyers, and I was like, okay, so what am I supposed to do here? Because there are lots of them very good. So what am I supposed to do here? So I discovered that I actually speak several languages, and I was like, okay, so I'll have to do this, help people from outside Spain that they don't really understand Spanish. They have the barrier language that it's pretty difficult, especially in certain situations. So I just kind of fall into this world. And later on, I got somehow specialized in everything related to foreigners, whether immigrants, expats, or whatever. Just got into this world because when somebody comes to Spain, people don't usually have only one issue. Like, okay, so I have my residency card, but then I have a problem with the rent, and then I have a problem because I don't know, with the car or with my driving license or with I don't know, some contract, or wanting to set up a business, or having no idea how to do all the stuff with the taxes. So I kind of broaden my knowledge on a basis of daily practice, uh, helping people from all over the world. As you can imagine, in our law firm, usually people that come, they don't really speak Spanish, because for people that already speak Spanish, there are lots of other lawyers in Madrid. There are so many law firms of all ranges of price, or all I don't know, areas of law. So it's pretty much like higher the concurrence, but still for foreigners that don't speak any English, any Spanish language, then they will definitely find us. So,
Yeah, I think
lawyers.
it's very common. I think for people who have only lived in their home country all their lives, they don't realise how complicated the bureaucracy is there, and they move to Spain and they realise that if you can't
Indeed.
speak the language properly, it's actually I don't think it's that much more complicated than living in the UK, for example, having dealt with the bureaucracy over there as well. I mean, there are some things that are more complicated, but the complication comes from not being able to understand a different system. And so that's where people fall
Indeed.
down. So, how many languages do you speak, and what are they?
6.
Six. Wow, that's just alien to me. But I can speak a little Spanish and a little French. But yeah.
That's my parents' fault, because when I was 6, they put me into language schools, and they told me and told themselves that they don't know what their daughter will do when grows up, but definitely foreign languages will help somehow. So I learned everything up to I was 18. Like when I reached 18, I stopped learning languages, and I just like maybe got better into some of them. But definitely everything was done before. For whichever reason, younger people, especially kids and teenagers, are way more capable of learning languages. So definitely, if you have the opportunity, or the possibility to do it, just get your kids into language schools or language courses or whatever, as soon as young as possible. Definitely, they will
Yeah.
just acquire it in a natural way. They will not have to struggle, like maybe in a certain moment.
Yeah.
And as per what you
Absolutely.
were saying before, the like, I don't know how it's to live in London or UK. I traveled there lots of times, but I have no idea how it is to effectively live. But I did have the opportunity to do 1 year in Paris, at the university, because I was complementing my studies in international comparative law, and I lived in France for 1 year. And like, I was always complaining about the bureaucracy in Spain, but after 1 year in France, I came so happy back to Spain, and I was just, you know, I started to love the situation here. Like, okay, we have so many troubles, so many problems, but me as a lawyer, I found so many incongruencies living and working in a law firm in France, and studying the law. Like, like there were too many things, too too much of interference of the government and the administration in your life, was stopping you from doing so many things. Like, it was really crazy. So I came back to Spain just loving the problems that we have here.
Fantastic. It's good that you love them because you're in there right on the front line, aren't you? So that is funny. Let's just say hello to Mad David from a bloody cold UK. That's a very English way of saying it. And Chris, Upsticks to Spain, is there. Hello, Chris. I had a chat with him on WhatsApp earlier on, and yes, he's. If you didn't know, YouTooSpain fans, Chris broke his arm during the week on a beach on some rocks. So and Ant and Kez are asking, how's the one-armed bandit? So you'd better reply to them and tell them how you are. And let's see, that's all of the messages from now. If you haven't put a message on the live chat, then do it now. Wave to us and say hello. Don't be nervous. You're only typing in. You don't have to appear on the screen. So there we go. So Maria, are they many people moving from the UK and Northern Europe to Madrid? And do you find that they're mostly retirees or people wanting to work?
Well, as per our knowledge and the statistics and the things that we get to know, the main profiles that come to Madrid are usually people that search for work, people that, like, for instance, digital nomads, because like, whether you have the capacity to work from whichever part of the world, you still need some sort of connection, especially with the business world, that can help you a bit. And definitely Madrid is not only the capital of Spain, but the capital of business and finance in Spain. So if you're into business or into a digital nomad, like what we call autonomo freelancer in Spain, or if you're into searching for a job, definitely this is like the star place to be. Everything else, it's different. And as per I don't know, retirees, probably we don't really have too many, and we don't really see too many. But if they come, they are related to their families, because maybe they have kids that still have to help a bit in life until they are independent. So they come near Madrid. We assist them into maybe buying properties around Madrid that in a very short distance, like you're outside Madrid, like, I don't know, 20, 30 kilometers, only 50 kilometers maybe. And you have the possibility of living a very good life in like a very big house, not necessarily need to stay inside Madrid and all the, the movement and everything, energetic environment that we have in Madrid. But definitely that will allow your kids or your family that still need to work to find suitable jobs, because as you know, and everybody that comes around, outside the big cities, Spain is empty. So if you're, I don't know, a millionaire coming around any empty area of Spain, then you'll just don't miss anything. But if you need to sustain yourself, economically speaking, then definitely you will decide over one of those areas. And also, like, if you're a young person, you want to be in a place where you never sleep, which doesn't happen so much in, the coastal areas, because coastal areas are fun and whatever in big season, in the top season. But after, like, after the season is out, it's a bit more difficult, and it's like difficult to do a life when you're young, or when you want to work and you want to move around. But this doesn't happen in Madrid. Like, in Madrid, we kind of, let's say, stop in the month of August. Okay. So
Yeah.
from mid-July to mid-August, Madrid floods out with people. Okay, so everybody leaves on holiday. So it's kind of sleeping, but the rest of the year you always have activities, you always have like meetings, you always have something to do, and depending on the type of life like that you prefer, like, I don't know, maybe you like to visit museums and art galleries and stuff. We have over 75 museums, and like, it's really, and like, you always have some sort of concert around, and some sort of I don't know, hiking or skiing or tennis or whatever. Like, there's always something to do every single day. It's not like every week. No, like literally every single day you have so many plans. I don't know. Lots of people may use, those applications like Meetup or Eventbrite or stuff like that, and you see the quantity, the immense quantity of events that you have. Definitely, like that type of life, it's fit for you. And
So it's still very lively even in August. There's still a lot going on, even though a lot of businesses are shut down, and because it's so hot, isn't it, in the centre of Spain in the summer?
yes,
It's
yes,
hotter than
yes,
it is
yes.
down here on the south coast.
Yes. So we suddenly have like less traffic, and we can go around and move around, and it's less crowded, if if you want to
Yeah,
call it like that.
that's the time when you don't want to move around, though. You need to stay indoors.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about visas. I think um, you talked about the digital nomad visa. Let's get to one question that was on Facebook. Let's put it up on the screen, and it was about the digital nomad visa from Tony. Tony for real. The how many days am I allowed out of Spain so my visa won't get annulled? Or I think what he means is you won't be annulled with your visa, but it's all about when you renew your visa, you won't get it if you've been out for longer than a certain time. So yeah, Maria, tell us about that.
Indeed. So it is very important to understand that if you ask for a residency in Spain, the word residency implies that you want to reside. And how do you explain the residence? Well, by staying in Spain a certain number of days. I was commenting you that if you're having one of the, I don't know, over 130 types of procedures to get to a residency, definitely you'll have different conditions, but this condition applies to all of the residency cards because it's a residency. Before, it was not applied to the golden visa. It was the only one in the Spanish law that was allowing you to travel, okay, up and down without any complication or any explanation, but all the others imply to reside. A parenthesis is that last year they changed the situation for holders of the like the European Union family residency. Okay, until that moment, it was also obliged to stay in Spain, but it had no sense. It's like you are granted a card to stay with your, let's say, wife, because your wife is Spanish, and you're I don't know, British person or a Moroccan person, and you're granted a tarjeta de familiar comunitario, and it was pretty much senseless to oblige you to stay like in Spain while maybe your wife or husband or whatever was traveling. So of course lawyers were able to change the situation to get into lots of lawsuits against the administration, and the administration had to change the situation because it had no sense. So right now you're also allowed with the tarjeta de familiar comunitario, like a family of European citizen residency. Okay, but in the digital nomad residency, you have to reside. And usually, we decide the residency where you are. The first rule of the taxation is that you're over 183 days on Spanish territory. Okay, it's important to remember that like lots of people say, okay, so I'll just go there and stay this time and then I leave in order not to pay taxes or whatever. But that's not the correct way. The correct way is to have like your tax advisor to tell you if you can do this or that, but not necessarily to avoid it by trying to stay out of Spain, not to pay taxes, because when you try to renew a residency, you'll have the surprise to see that it won't be renewed because of this reason. Usually, the first reason to deny uh, lots of
Renewal. Yeah,
residency
yeah.
cards may be like economic reasons, but the second one is like almost always is the uh, understay as per the required timing. Of course, it's like obvious that it's not the same thing that you during that year you travel around Europe, okay, or during that year you travel outside Europe, because then you have what we call a historic of migrations, which usually, like when you pass through airports, you see that the police takes your passport and scan it. They don't always scan it to see if it's fake or not or whatever. They also scan it so that to have a knowledge when you're going out or in. And this control is like every day is like stronger, not necessarily because they care where you go, but because they care people that stay in Spain on benefits, they must not leave. So somebody that is having some sort of benefit from the state, receiving it from the Spanish government, if they leave out of Spain for over 15 days in 1 year, they will have to give back all the benefits that they received, plus a fine, plus the delays, and plus the procedure, the administrative
Yeah.
procedure that you'll have to struggle with. Okay, so it's very important that like you always have at hand some sort of, I don't know, contact information of tax lawyer or immigration lawyer, or like I don't know, whatever professional that could help you, like a quick question that then doesn't necessarily implies a payment, or a fee or whatever. So you, like, I don't know, I advise people to just make a quick phone call of maybe 1-2 minutes. You're not really taking away lots of the time of the professional, so he or she will not be bothered because you're taking advantage of their time, uh, and still you can get to have your question answered, and you'll be able to act properly and avoid unnecessary problems in the future. Okay.
Yeah, very good. That's a very detailed answer, and you've answered quite a few other questions around it as well. So 183 days, 6 months is the very quick answer, but you've explained a lot around why. That's excellent. So I'll remove that question there, and we have a question from Mad David. Actually, this is interesting. Is it possible to buy a small hotel on the non-lucrative visa, then let your daughter and son-in-law run it for you while we all live in the hotel? Interesting.
Okay, so we are mixing different areas of law. Okay, it's important for me to say that I'm able to advise on pretty much everything, but I'm not specialist in pretty much everything. Okay, so each area must be consulted with a specific professional once. Our friend David wants to really enter the business. I'm sure he will do it anyway, so I don't have to say it, but just in case. Okay, so on one side we have the non-lucrative visa, which the majority of us are aware that it doesn't allow you to work. So it implies that you are residing in Spain. Remember the former question implies that you have to pay your taxes in Spain, okay, for everything you earn around, but it doesn't allow you to work. It doesn't mean that you're forbidden to work, okay? You can be an investor. Nobody stops you to be an investor in Spain. So, of course, you can buy a hotel, but you cannot work. What we understand work? Well, being inside, having a, I don't know, work contract, or doing some sort of stuff like you're cleaning and cooking and doing stuff, that's working. Okay, so you're perfectly allowed to be an investor, but you're not allowed to work. If you're working inside and there is, for whichever reason, there is a work inspection, then this may give you problem, because obviously they're like, first, work inspection, they don't just jump in. They do a checkup during several days, so they will see you that you're entering and you're doing stuff. So that is against the law, and you will be heavily fined, and the daughter, and you'll, like, it's just too many problems that you may have for doing this. So separate investing in whatever job, business, whatever business or hotel or whatever you want in Spain. You can invest in everything without being limited to anything, but at the same time you cannot work. As per what we understand, work in Spain is forbidden to work unless you're an autonomo or on a work contract. Okay, so you cannot just work. You may say, no, it's my daughter, I help her. Yeah, but if the work inspector enters, he will not just jump in, as I told you. He will verify, and if you see that you're actually doing it for a long time, and that is not considered as just a punctual help. Okay. And this is not like you are blocked. It just means that you may want to change your situation. So if tomorrow you want to, like, let's say you don't want to work, but your daughter and son-in-law want to work, then they will have to change their situation. We call it a modification of status. So you will modify your status from the non-working visa to a different type of working visa. First thing that I need to insist is, I'm telling you this because I'm a lawyer. I have lots of problems because such a small issue. Everybody that wants to modify their status for whichever card they have, it doesn't matter what card you have. If you want to modify your status, your card in Spain, please come to us way before your card expires. Because if you come to us in the last 30 days before the expiring of your card, we cannot help you. It's impossible, okay? It will be automatically denied. So like come like 2, 3, 4 months before and comment as your intention, and we will find the best way to help you to readjust your new card, your new residency status on the basis of your new interests and your new needs, okay? There are lots of like options or like residency types, and each of them have their own like specifications, to call it like that. So like in Spain we cannot like guarantee that you'll get a residency, but definitely we as professionals can help you raise your success rate, and your success rate will depend on how good your situation fits the law. Okay, so when going over like 140 plus procedures that we have, each with its own checklist, definitely knowing your situation will help us adjust it to the type of residency that you may need. In this case, if your daughter and son-in-law want to work and they came independent, we would have to see their situation. If they came with you and they have the same visa as you, then they would need to modify it in order to be allowed to work. Or if they have a different situation, okay, your daughter may have your own nationality, let's say it, but your son-in-law, maybe he is Spanish or European national, then definitely his status will be totally different, and that will affect fully the situation of your daughter as per administrative immigration, and definitely it will change all the like the puzzle that we have here. Okay. So what else? Like,
Yes,
of
we
course
call
you
it.
can live in the hotel.
Yeah, we call it. We have a phrase on this show which I've been using. It depends. There are so
Definitely,
many.
that's the golden word in Spain. Yeah.
Yeah, depende, they say in Spain. So
Yeah.
it's very important to understand that your chances are that your daughter and son-in-law, if neither of them are EU residents, then they're going to have to go through a different process to you. They won't be able to come in on the non-lucrative visa with you unless they're younger than 18, in which case they're going to have difficulty getting a work visa to run a hotel, I think, at that age. So that causes other problems. So there are lots of things. So what I do for that, David, is to talk to somebody about all of the different details and your particular needs and your particular circumstances, because it would be impossible to answer that question for everybody, I think, as we are now. So there we go. We'll move on to some of the other questions. It's we've not got through very many of the questions that I've set, so let's see if we can get through a few, and we'll have some brief answers. Let's see, what in your experience, what do you think that people find the most challenging about moving to Madrid in particular? I think the capital city.
May I start with it depends?
Yeah. Always, yeah.
Yeah. So definitely, in my experience, I can I don't know, I can give an opinion, not necessarily correct or not. My opinion is that the better prepared you come, the better you live in Spain. Okay, so if you want to search for adventure, do it, but outside the administration. Okay, so just for the administrative stuff, just prepare, a checklist with everything that you need to know, that you have to prepare, that you have to bring, documents that you have to bring, and everything. So you have it all prepared, and leave the adventure for other things like trying new food or maybe traveling or whatever. Leave that area. So that's like the most important thing, and that is something that will define even if you'll still stay in Spain. Okay. So
Yeah, great. And is there one particular challenge that's the biggest, or is it just all of the bureaucracy?
not necessarily, depending on people. I don't know, maybe trying to understand, like watching videos like this one, or like plenty of others in internet that give you its own perspective of life in Spain or situation, and you will have pretty much a better idea. And also, like, I don't know, uh, mm, try to prepare everything you can in advance, but at the same time try not to, I don't know, do any payments in advance, like trying to rent on a flat that when you reach here it doesn't exist, or things like that. I don't know, like just have lots of common sense. What you would not do in your own country, why would you do it in Spain? Like, it doesn't mean that Spain is better or worse at that level. If you already have a very good survival sense in your country, why would you forget about that when you come to Spain? So it's pretty much the same, and it depends. Lots of people, like, they may be better prepared in some areas and not so good in others. But I don't really see like patterns. The only pattern I see is that people that are coming like with the better preparation, and if possible with a bit of Spanish language knowledge, definitely will enjoy way better Spain and everything it has to give. Okay.
Yeah. So the most common mistake really to avoid is to not do your research and not understand the
Yeah.
processes really. Yeah. And is that
I
any different in Madrid from anywhere else? I mean, you live in Toledo, is it? Which is outside the
I
capital.
sleep in Toledo, okay, and I work in Madrid. Okay, so it's a bit because of, it's easier for a family outside. Well, we are only 40 minutes from Madrid. What I was telling you, it's easier for a family of six to live with the same amount of money, way better outside Madrid than inside Madrid. Okay, like for the same amount that I'm paying in Toledo for a house of 300 square meters, probably in Madrid I would only have, like, I don't know, 65 square meters. You know what I mean? So for
Yeah.
a for a family, it's very important. It's an important issue. So
So is it easier do you get people wanting to move to Toledo as your clients? And is it very
well,
different from moving to Madrid things that you need to tell them?
Mm, well, it's the profiles obviously, like, or more people of a certain age that they have like a better economical situation, that they can afford to travel and do whatever, that they're not too much into parties. They want to be close to the, I don't know, the world, and they want to be in a city, and they want to have the things like the perks that the city life has to give, but not so crowded and not so maybe expensive in certain things. And like if you have, like what I was telling you, my situation, if you have a bigger family, then definitely Toledo or Avila or Segovia, or like there are so many, I don't know, options that you can find depending on your situation, that maybe Madrid won't give it. Madrid is good to work, to make money, to make a career, to have, I don't know, some sort of future. But for family life, definitely around Madrid we have plenty of options. Also in immigration is a bit different, but that's also important to mention. Even if we have the same law, like 90+% of the law in immigration is the same as all Europe, but then each country applies it in a different way. And in Spain, we have lots of autonomous communities and lots of provincias, and each head of provincia has its own immigration office, and each of them has its own under law. Like, it's not the law, but it's the application that they give it when the documents enter. So it's very important that you know how they do the things. This is not something that I should be like saying, and definitely it's not nice, but this is the reality. And the treatment that your file will get, even for a non-working visa, the treatment would not be the same in Madrid than Toledo, than Alicante, than Barcelona. This should not be like that. And also for maybe for procedures that are more usual, like even the non-working visa or similar, lots of types of arraigo, what we call, those are very usual. But then, and then like then the treatment that they get in immigration offices is more homogeneous. Everywhere is pretty much the same. But like for newer ones, like the digital nomad visa, is not the same treatment that you'll receive in a different province, and that is very important that you go with the lawyers that know how things work.
So you need
I
to go
don't
through. Yeah,
like,
sorry,
I
you need
don't
to
speak
go.
about connections, okay? I don't speak that I know the police officer. No, 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 really. It's just that the way that they understand the application on a basis of their local problems, because maybe you must understand that when the police reacts in a certain way is because they have a certain trouble, like lots of people coming to ask for a tarjeta familiar comunitario with a pareja de hecho that doesn't get the same treatment everywhere, because in certain areas there is more potential of fraud, and in other areas there's not. And also it's not the same thing that you have your let's not call it wife, because you're not married, but you have kids together. Obviously that doesn't get the same treatment when they do the file for the card for immigration when there are no kids, and it's not the same thing that you have, I don't know, you're in your maybe 50s and you have a girlfriend from a different country that is only 25, so, and you just met her online and you saw her only once in a, I don't know, weekend, so obviously the treatment is different, but not necessarily because the law is different, but because the problems that certain administrations may find more often is like, okay, so if we use this, we have to be more careful because there are a lot of people that try to use fraudulent measures or even fraudulent documents to reach this card, to get this card. So definitely police takes care of those things. So it's not that is something good or bad, it's just the situation. So it's important to comment it, because this way the potential I don't know, people that may need some sort of card, they may want to know that depending on each province, they may be required other documents, and they want to go well prepared for those things. Okay.
So do you think that Madrid is more difficult to get various visas and residency cards than the rest
No,
of the country
no.
because it's more
Toledo,
lively?
Toledo is way more difficult, is more rigid, but it's not because they're difficult, because they're extremely professionals, and only because there are only three inside that have to work and deal with hundreds and thousands of the demands. Okay.
Aha.
Yeah, so this is something to consider too. You go to Segovia, you'll meet something similar. There are very few professionals, okay? And immigration is extremely extensive. What I was commenting you, there are hundreds and hundreds of different procedures and types of doing it, circumstances, and you have to get on one side the law, and you have to have on the other side the personal circumstances of the people, and then the documents, and you have documents from different jurisdictions, and you don't know how to assimilate it with Spanish jurisdiction, so that to know if this is good or bad, if you can help with this or not. How do you know that sometimes somebody fulfills a certain condition if they give you some sort of documents that you have never seen? So you have to do a checkup, you have to do requests from your superiors to help you. That's a huge amount of work. And in Toledo, they do a very good work. I don't know, like in 8 years, I only had one mistake with them. They only did one mistake, so they're very rigid, very capable. In Madrid, it's not that they are less capable, is simply that they are more used to lots of type of procedures, because maybe in smaller cities they don't really see digital nomads, but in or non-working visas, I don't know, maybe Toledo or Teruel or whatever, they're not really used to this. But then you go to Madrid and they are super used to this, and they already know how to handle these things. So they don't really bother about asking so many documents, or they don't. It depends a lot on.
It depends again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Are the
definitely.
I know we're having problems, quite a lot of problems along the south coast in certain areas, especially Almeria, I think, in getting appointments. There's just a so difficult to grab an appointment to go into the extrañeria for different processes. Is what's the sort of timescales?
Sorry.
How? Yeah, it's okay. What sort of timescales are common in Madrid and in Toledo, for example, for getting an appointment? Is it difficult? A lot of people doing it, and it's not easy to find one, or is it quite easy?
Getting an appointment is different from, in order to, like, depending on the procedure, is not the same thing into immigration or into asylum seekers. Okay, we speak about totally different things. For asylum, it's almost impossible or even impossible. Like right now, they are totally blocked. Again, they are like three people there, and suddenly we have like millions of asylum seekers that come from all over the world. So it complicated so much the things that like right now is totally blocked. In immigration, it depends on which state of the procedure you are, because not the same thing that you have to, like, you want to apply for something because lots of procedures allow you to apply all alone. You don't need to hire a lawyer or somebody, whatever. And other procedures that maybe you have to go to get to give some documents that you were required, or to like put a fingerprint because you reach to that point, or to get the card after you put the fingerprint. So there are lots of appointments, and those appointments are a bit different. It's very difficult after the COVID, everything like got somehow blocked, and for whichever reason after the COVID it didn't unblock. I dare to say, because so many foreigners saw Spain as a small paradise, and the immigration and people that come from outside has totally skyrocketed. So like even as per tourism, we speak about around, I don't know, 70 plus million, 73 75 million of people coming to visit Spain every year. So only to handle that structure, so many people, like double the population of Spain, coming to visit Spain. Those people may want to stay, may want to, I don't know, work, may want to whichever. So like suddenly you have a huge amount of demands from people that want to somehow relate themselves to Spain, and you still have the same structure, okay, that you had before, and that's difficult to sustain. And even if the state makes lots of efforts into this, but still it's not enough. And also, immigration is extremely like difficult, okay, and not so many I don't know, functionaries want to work in this area because it's a huge amount of work, and it's some of the smallest payments that you may have as a functionary. Okay, so it's not cool either, and it's not fun either. So people that work in immigration, like the police officers that work in immigration, the huge majority do it because they want to help people. Okay, uh, some of them just have a bad day or whatever, but in general, they I can assure you 100% they don't do it for money. Okay, it's the smallest pay in the, you know, special, like all the forces, like security forces of the state, like police, guardia civil, most of the squad, everything. Okay, so it's the smallest payment. So if they do it, it's not for the money. Okay, it's to help people. And if they want to help people, obviously there are so many people, there's not enough time to do the things, not enough people working inside, and like not enough time to analyze. So on one side, the system is somehow delayed or blocked because of that reason. Okay, and on the other side, the system is also blocked because of some wise guys around using all kind of software to block and to resell the appointments. um, I don't advise anybody to do this because, like, police is not dumb. Okay, this for a reason that they work there. They will catch you, they will get it, they will find out, and you'll have a problem. Like, you can Google the news, but last year around like it they they catch like a network or 70 plus people,
Yeah.
including lawyers, that were transactioning with the appointments, and that's something illegal. Okay, so
That's still
yes,
happening. That's still happening, apparently.
yeah, that's still happening, but like if I go to, let's say, Instagram, I will not say, I will say, okay, so my day is great. I will not say I was fined by the police and I'm in a criminal procedure because I sold an appointment in immigration. That's something that
Mm.
people don't speak about, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. So so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just try to avoid it, and just like,
Absolutely. So is it kind of something that you have to do if you're making appointments for your clients? Do you have to keep going on and pressing, make an appointment, find an
that's our
appointment?
secret. Every
Yeah.
15-20 minutes we try again and try again and try
Mm.
again, day and night. And that's very difficult to explain to people why an appointment which should be free, we have to charge for it. Well, actually, we have to charge for this reason.
Mm.
And we usually don't offer appointments to customers unless we do all the procedure. For instance, if you want a non-working visa, we will assist you everything until you have your card in your hand. So it's our problem to get the appointments, to, like, it's our work. But that's something that we can explain because we are inside the procedure. We take care of everything, all the documents and everything, the appointments, obviously, because, like, if you pay, your purpose is to get the residency and our purpose is to give the service. Okay, so
Mm.
we take care of everything so that to be sure that you get your card, which means that we gave the service that you hired us for. But at the same time, we do not offer independent appointments. Like, people call and say, like, do you do an appointment? No, we don't. Like, we don't, because it's it's not logical to explain to people that we have to charge for something that is free.
Mm.
But that same people don't understand that we have to have people working, and, like, I don't know, 80+% of the lawyers in Spain, we are very small teams. We are
Mm.
not big companies that have, I don't know, let's call it free paralegals from the universities that provide us with, I don't
Mm.
know, 200 paralegals per year, free of charge, with no, like, nothing to pay. So we
Mm.
put them in front of the computers and get the you know what I mean. We cannot
Mm.
do that. So it's us to stay in front of the computer, or, I don't know, to have our mobile, like, every 5-10 minutes, try again and try again and try again. Like, after repeating so much, you just remember the NIE of somebody that you worked with maybe 10 years ago. So
Mm.
because of
Mm.
repeating so much the information until you get an appointment. So
Yeah, I've heard of one student who was working for somebody who was just there. Their sole job while they were there on work experience was to keep on pressing the button, and it wasn't every 10 minutes. It was every however long it takes to press the button, and then go, wait, press the button again. Doing that all day, and that was just to get maybe one appointment per day. That's how difficult it's been
if you're lucky,
in the
indeed.
south. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
indeed,
So,
indeed.
well,
Especially certain areas, especially from Barcelona, the coastal area is really is
mm.
it's a living hell to try
So
to
is
do
it
this.
maybe not quite so bad in central Spain then?
No, if you're going to the empty Spain, then you don't even need an appointment. You just go there. You go to
Uh-huh.
the police officer, you give your documents, and they say, "Okay, come back next week or next month, and we give you the card, and that's it. You're out." So, so,
Yeah.
so that's one of the main differences.
Mm.
So
That's
maybe
good to know.
maybe
Mm.
it's good to know, and maybe lots of people that watch us today, or later on when they see the video, maybe they want to, I don't know, come for a few months or the first year in a more remoted area, more like empty area of Spain, have all their paperwork done very fast, very easy, enjoy the benefits of living in those areas, because, like, everything is like way more security, less crowded, way cheaper. Like, while you can, I don't know, while you have to pay, like, from 500 to 1,000 euro per month for a single room in the center of Madrid,
Hmm.
with 500 euro you get a 300-400 square meters house in, like, when you're out of
Mm. In the Campo somewhere. Yes.
one hour far away from Madrid.
Mm.
Like, that's a totally different life. So maybe you want
Mm.
to look at those options, because it will definitely make your entry in Spain easier. And then once you have, like, a bit of knowledge of the Spanish language, you have a bit of knowledge of how things work, you realize that things take time in Spain,
Mm.
and you got adjusted with all those things, you get a car, you can start reorganizing your life somewhere else, like Madrid or Barcelona or whatever. But definitely you will have a super important baggage of knowledge about what's going on around. So definitely
Yeah.
this could be a good option to to look for.
Indeed. Let's just get over into the live chat. We've not spoken to anybody for a while. Antonio Garcia Lopez Vasquez is just challenging your figures slightly, saying that in 2023 it was 85 millions came to Spain, and it's looking like it's going to be 93 to 97 in 2024. I think the figures you quoted were for the probably 2022, because it has been going up and up, and since COVID, because there was a big drop off of people, obviously, because people couldn't come here during COVID, and then it's shooting back up to pre-2019 figures now.
Definitely.
So we'll go back to Mad David, who was talking about the hotel, if you remember, and moving over. So he says, can I confirm I am the investor buying the hotel, and the children, they're aged 27 and 29. That's good to know. That confirms that they're not below the age where you can actually bring them in on the non-lucrative visa. So they would be on a self-employed basis, self-employed visa to run the hotel while I sit by and watch. So that sounds correct, doesn't it?
That sounds correct, but it depends.
It depends. Again.
Okay, again, so just one small parenthesis. It's very important to know that as an investor, but you have nothing to do with it, because like if you're, let's say, participating in the company and you have over 25% of the company shares, you're a resident in Spain, you automatically have to be an autónomo societario. Well, in certain situations, not necessarily with the 25 or 33, but when you have like 50% or more. Okay, so you're obliged. But in this case, if it's not like a company, you're giving the money and they'll give you the money. Okay, so that's different than you being like a direct investor and getting an income. You know what I mean? So definitely be sure to have a tax lawyer, okay, and a tax advisor to help you really well with this, because for like, you must understand that for small issues you may have big troubles. Okay, so it depends, like you are an investor but you have nothing to do with the company, you're not related, you're not in the deeds or whatever, then it's just an investment, and you're not getting, like, you're receiving an amount of money just like you would receive any amount of money from outside, which is from sources that are not a job. Okay, so it's the same thing, but you have specifications, you have details that you want to take care of, and really go to a specialized tax advisor.
Yeah, absolutely, yes, because there's lots of different ways for the children to set up the company, and if you're part of that as a director, maybe but you're allowed under certain circumstances, I think you're saying, to get money as long as it's passive income, and you have nothing to do with running the company.
Sorry, indeed. So as long as it's passive income, just like I don't know, you have dividends from I don't know, from whichever investment funds that you have in any other country, and you receive it, let's say, once or twice per year. That's not a job that you're doing, you're just receiving. That's something that we can call passive income. So you can do that. But if you're somehow you want to be sure that you get the money, so you enter the company, you enter the deed, your name is there, Hacienda gets it, Hacienda will say, okay, so you need to verify your status here, and then, as this would not be enough, they social security would come and they will say, oh, you have the obligation to be at autónomo societario and you didn't, so you have to pay all those months. It's like really, really crazy. You really don't want to enter those things. Stay away. Just invest from far away and get an agreement on how they will give you back the benefits or whatever, the dividends or whatever. Have it very clear on a deed, on a notary deed, not just a private contract. Okay, be sure to
get the paperwork right. Definitely. So I'll just say hello to Bobby Britton, who's joined partway through the show, and Lucy, good morning. And Antonio says thanks a lot for that. And Ian Butterworth says it's 1 year, 2 months, 20 days before my retirement and start the process of moving to beautiful Spain. There, isn't that lovely? Best wishes to you for the whole process. And Antonio says, "Be welcome. You'll enjoy it over here. Good luck." And Ian says, "Not that I'm counting the days or wishing my life away. It'll move very quickly. It did for me, certainly." And Bobby Britton says, "As soon as I sell my house, I start my paperwork in hopes to drive with the non-lucrative visa in April." So there you go. Yes, it's good timing for you to be making the plans now and speaking to any advisors about what you need to do. And yes, brilliant. I tell you what we'll do is normally at about 10:30 we go into a break, but we've been chatting away so much we didn't get around to it. But I think we'll do that now, and then we'll do a much shorter second half of the program. And so don't go away. Let's have some advice about all of the services available to you as YouTooSpain fans. So here we go. See you in a couple of minutes. Are you getting the most out of YouTooSpain? Yes, no, I don't know. Did you know that apart from these Saturday morning live shows with expert guests, or expats with really exciting stories to tell, it's not the bloody Graham Norton show. There are videos every Wednesday evening, packed with all the information you need, so we can move to Spain and enjoy living here. Without paying tax? No, Colonel, that's illegal. Naughty boy. Bah! You can find out how to navigate the bureaucracy successfully. How do I find the videos, darling? Just subscribe to the YouTube channel. And click on the bell, you useless cunt. Colonel, there's also a gorgeous YouTooSpain website full of articles, links and everything you need. YouTooSpain.com. And if you want to say thank you to YouTooSpain for all of the valuable information, or if you've been entertained, you can support Skatz with a donation. He looks like he needs a support. The poor bugger can't even stand up. If he was a horse, I'd shoot him. Colonel! The Colonel's not a very nice man. It's all right. He's just a two-dimensional stereotype. Aren't we all, sweetie? I'm not. Brexit! And how do I support YouTooSpain? Use the QR code in the corner! Or you can find it in the SuperLink in the video description below. Where? In the video description, you bloody idiot. I've warned you, Colonel. I'll send you back to the nunnery. There! It's below the video title. Down there. It says, read more. That's right. Just click or tap on that and lots more text appears. There's so much more down below. And don't forget the Facebook page and the YouTooSpain community group, darling, where you can talk to other people just like you. Oh, there's no one like me, sweetie. Thank goodness. Is that everything? There's a guest waiting to tell me things. Oh, I do like things. Where's Doogie Dog? I'm stuck behind a wall. Oh, sorry, Doogie. Follow my voice. Thank you, Master. Get back to the show. I need to go and punch some servants. Oh, Colonel. Back to Skatz in the studio. Well, thanks.
I loved it.
Now you can see that we were just talking about earlier about me being a musician, and you said that's and you were amazed, but that's the other thing I do. So there you go. Good. So what questions? So let's see if anybody said anything on the chat. And here's a good question. Is it? This was going to be one of my questions, is it, as well? Is it so difficult to rent a house in Madrid? Any recommendations?
Yes, it is very difficult to rent a house in Madrid.
And I suppose a long-term rent as well, which is what you need if you're coming on a visa. So.
Well, it's not a secret, but if you have money, you don't have any problem in renting a flat in Madrid. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you go to, I don't know, over 5,000 or 10,000 euro per month rent, you will have no problem at all. Okay. Mm-hmm. You'll be able to rent like very fast, and there will be plenty of people to help you and to do all the paperwork for you. And you just have to, you don't even have to carry your luggage. The luggage somebody else will do it, and you just go to Madrid and enjoy life. Okay,
I
so
can imagine people will pounce on you as soon as if you've got a bit
definitely,
if you've got a big
definitely.
wallet.
Definitely, but for the rest of the mortals like us, well, it's difficult to rent. And well, as you all know, we do have certain problems here, like I don't know, occupational people don't pay, that don't pay, or whatever, so that makes it incredibly scary for people that own a flat to rent it away. Okay, so in order for them to rent it away, you, if you want to rent, then definitely you want to give a safe image, like everything, all the documents that you are required, plus the entry fees that they may request from you, or the extra documents that they may need in order to know your situation, economical situation, obviously,
Hmm.
uh, and personal too, then definitely it will make it easier for you. But if you just came here, you like with I don't know, savings of 1,000 euro in your bank account, and you want to rent a flat that it's also 1,000 euro per month without having a job or a contract or something that proves that you have a regular income, then it's just impossible. Okay, so that's it. That's the reality. Also, you want to I don't know, share a flat until you build a situation in Spain, okay, an economic situation, maybe the first 3 months. And once you have like a job contract, or you have some savings, or you already know how things work, or whatever, it will make it way easier for you. So probably the feeling that is very difficult, it's also because of this, because like imagine that you come from outside and you want to compete with local people that already have a work contract and an economic or let's say a financial stamp in the banks. Okay,
Hmm.
banks already have an idea of who they are at a financial level, so it's very difficult from you that you come from outside and like to compete with the local, so it makes it even more difficult. So maybe planning this ahead, taking something temporary for 1 to 3 months, whether Airbnb or with staying with some friends or sharing with some friends, okay, that may also be a good idea. And also if I usually see it in other countries. I don't know why I don't see it in Spain, but I go in other countries like India and similar, and I see like lots of expats that go together. That in between like five families, they rent like a huge house. You know, the rich ones. Remember what we spoke
Hmm.
before, and it's way easier for them. You know, because in between five families, you rent I don't know a 10 or 20 rooms house. It looks a lot, but it's lots of time it's way easier than trying to get exactly the 500 to 1,000 per month break, because
Yeah.
that's the area where 80% of the concurrence goes. Okay, so if you go outside that margin, probably you'll have it way easier to find something.
Yeah, he or I don't know if you're he or she. Sorry, Edison. He says, "I'm not rich. I am afraid." And then again, he says, "I am of a non-lucrative visa, savings but no work. What are my options in the case? Depends on how much savings you have, really." Um, yeah.
uh, Maybe in order, like, if you refer to renting a flat on a non-lucrative visa, it's a bit complicated, unless, of course, you have enough economic means. But again, I always advise the same thing. When you come to Spain with a non-working visa, why do you have to rush into renting a one full year flat? Yeah, like you want to take something for smaller period of time and enjoy life and enjoy Spain and try to travel around. And maybe you decide that you don't want to stay in one place and want to go to another one, and then you're tied with a 1 year contract. So why bother? Like,
Hmm.
just take Airbnbs or share with families or friends or whatever, and stay 1 2 weeks there, 1 2 months there, 1 2 weeks somewhere else, and so on. And you get to know Spain, and then later on, when you decide that where you want to stay, where you want to spend a larger period of time, or even the rest of your life, maybe you'll have a better criteria to decide that, and don't have any, I don't know, repentments, should I should I say?
Hmm. I think the biggest difficulty is talking about getting a Padron certificate, which you need in order to get your TIE card and confirm your residency in Spain. So, and in order to get on the Padron, you need what do you need? A 6 month contract minimum in central Spain. That's what you need, I think, down here on the coast.
This again is a local application. Remember what we spoke that each administration makes its own law. Okay,
Uh huh.
so that's a local application because you have other areas like this is the same for everybody. Each and every area has decided its own rules. So
Uh,
if you go to a place like certain cities in the Toledo province, like Talavera, Torrijos, whatever, like there are lots of small cities, then when in one place they say you need like at least 1 year, in other places they say it's okay with the 15 days. The law
ah,
the law says that if you live in a certain place, you have the obligation to go to do the empadronamiento to register yourself. So you're obliged by the law to do it. But then you go to the town hall and they say, no, no, you have to come back when you have over 3 months staying here, or you need a contract of 6 months or 1 year or 2 years or indefinite or whatever. Well, no,
mhm,
because if you like, depending on the area, you may need to fulfill a certain situation. Also, it's important to say that the situation is not the same for all type of residency. It's not the same for non-working visa than for a working residency. Okay, for whichever, like either entrepreneur or either hired or whatever is different. So they don't really, they cannot really oblige you, because
mhm,
your life depends so many times on other issues. Like imagine that you're sent here by your boss and you're obliged to stay for 3 months here and 3 months in Barcelona. What are you supposed to do? So all those things can be discussed, but obviously when you're in front of the person that works in the administration, they don't have to know all those things, all those rules. So you want to have the correct advising of somebody when you do all that, and also that is able to explain and help you prepare the dossier correctly. Okay, when you
mhm.
go to do the empadronamiento or whatever.
Edison says that it sounds like in his experience, he's tried. You need at least 6 months in Madrid to get the Padron certificate, a contract. So that's kind of a mid-term contract, isn't it? 6 months meant.
Well, it is not that they need 6 months, is that they need a type of contract. So they
Ah,
don't refer to the time of 6 months specifically. They refer to the type of contract that you have. Because in Spain, we separate contracts that are short term and large term. Okay.
uh-huh.
So they understand that they have to register you in the town hall if you have a long term contract, because they understand that you live there. Okay.
Mhm,
And the short term is more into tourism area, okay, or short term stayings for company reasons or whatever. So that's the difference, and they can choose to do that. Again, you have to be careful of where you're going and what kind of documents, because has this changed? Because lots of immigrants in illegal situation come here, they do the empadronamiento, and then they vanish. Let's say they go to a different European country, still
mhm,
illegal. And what they refer to is that in their uh, 3 years of life, they were registered empadronado, but they were outside Spain. And then they come back and they ask for arraigo. You know arraigo. Arraigo is a procedure where we can help illegal immigrants become legal in paper, of course, and the requirement is to prove that you stayed in Spain for a certain amount of time, like 3 years in Araigo or 2 years in Formación, Araigo para la Formación. So you have to prove it. And usually they use the empadronamiento. So that is why the administrations are double checking this, and they try to block all the people that go and come and just for fun just register there. Okay.
mhm,
Also, as the Spanish government contemplates the possibility of regularizing over 500,000 of migrants, how do you think that they will decide that those people should or should not be? One of the requirements would be the empadronamiento. So the administrations make it more difficult to get the empadronamiento to people that don't really have serious intentions. Okay, so what they want is the type of contract. Okay, but
Yeah.
that is again not everywhere. Like you get I don't know, in some communities or some provinces or some cities you're required a 6 months contract, and in others maybe they let you with less. It depends, but you have to like you have to have, because I'm sorry, it is confusing. It is confusing, but obviously, like the law in every country is chaos. In Spain, of course, just like everywhere else, is it looks like chaotic. There's so many things inside. Like when you start opening a subject, then you remove and you find so many things, and again inside, like those things that you find, they are related to other things. So obviously it sounds confusing, but I'm just trying to explain a bit of how is it like that. Okay.
Yes. Lots of
Like,
it depends again.
yeah, but again, if you really want to have like less hassle and problems with this, just avoid Madrid, Barcelona, or Valencia, Alicante, Marbella, Malaga. Just avoid those places, and that's it, because you will not have the same problems outside.
Very good. Edison says, what town is it that you just need 15 days to get Padron? You mentioned it earlier. I don't think you said the name of the town.
I'm not aware. I cannot help you with that. Okay, it depends on if they accept the contract that you have. I'm telling you this because it's not the same that I come with a non-working visa, okay? Because sometimes some consulates, maybe you found out, but some consulates even ask you the full year contract of rent fully paid in advance. Some don't. Some don't even look at any contract. They don't request you any contract, but others ask you a full year contract and full payment in advance. So depends on them. But when you're here, it's not the same thing that you come. Let's say you come to my place, to my family. Uh, like I go with you to the town hall, and I'm telling them that you're living with me, with my family. Then I don't need any contract. And whether you stay 15 days or 5 days or 5 years, there's nothing else, because we don't have a contract. Okay, so of course, if you're renting a contract, a flat, and you want a formal contract, then definitely the administration requires you the proofs of that formal contract. But if you come to family, you can register yourself in your family, and you don't have to give any contract. You just go there in person with your family or close friends, where they will help you register, and probably they all have some sort of requirements. Some of them ask you, I don't know, copy of bills that come on your name, and it's like, okay, so in order to have a copy of bill, I have to have a rent, and if I have to have a rent, I need to, like, it's so chaotic. It complicates again. But each and every town hall in Spain may as well ask you something different. Like inside Madrid, if we go to one town hall or another town hall office, they may ask for extra stuff, and it happens. So you just go and ask, and that's it, and you will see how you manage with that one.
Absolutely, yes. I had the situation of the long term contract and the short term contract, and as you say, you can have a long term contract that you're only decided you can stay for 30 days or 3 months, and you can have a short term contract that says 11 months on it. So it's not the actual time that it says on the contract, it's the name of the contract. They're two different kinds of contract. So that's what you're saying, and I have experience of that, because we were given a short term contract which said 11 months on it, and everybody had said to us, yeah, 11 months is fine. But when I passed it on to a property lawyer who knew about these things, they said, no, you don't want that contract. You want this contract, which may say it's for 11 months or 12 months, but it actually means that after the 12 months, you've got a continued actual 5-year contract where the landlord can't say, right, I'm going to
Indeed.
put up the rent by 20-30%. Whereas in this contract, he can only put it up by 2% or 3%, whatever is the government level, which they say you're allowed to put up contracts. So there you go.
Yeah.
I hope I've explained that properly. So yeah. Let's see. Thanks very much, Barry from Unitech, for giving a donation there. And if anybody else wants to buy me a coffee, hover over that, and you'll be taken to the right page. Bobby Britton says, "If Donald Trump becomes president, can I claim asylum in Spain?" Unfortunately, not. No.
Oh,
It's a funny
I
question.
suggest you try to do a non-working visa better and do it before because
Yes. Get out
be-
now.
no, I'm just saying because we are totally blocked with asylum seekers, and that's such a pain because there are so many people that have really good reasons to leave their country. They are really threatened, but everything is blocked. So right now, the administration is not answering to anybody. They are totally overwhelmed with the quantity of asylum seekers, and it's a bit tragical what is going on. So because of the
Absolutely.
crowd, you want to avoid that and prepare all the paperwork in advance.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Let's have one of my questions. Timing is something you mentioned it earlier. It's something we talk about a lot on this show. What would you say to people wanting to move here who expect things to move more quickly and efficiently to a timetable?
Non-formally, I would say forget about it.
Good, honest
Okay.
answer. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, this is like this is in my like position as a friend. Okay, but if I change my head and I put myself as a lawyer, I would advise you to be patient because everything takes time in Spain. The administration takes its time, and I don't speak about the delays. I speak about the law that the administration has to follow. They have their time. So if they have to answer to whatever, they have up to 3 months, and if not, up to 6 months, and if not, they like they can just not answer, and you have a negative answer because of their non-answer. It's illogical, but that's the law. So if the law allows them, then they will do it. Okay, so so if like we already have a chaotic way of doing things, and when you decide to do the things, if you are open-minded and you understand that things may happen, that things may take time or whatever, you will definitely be happier when things go well. Okay. But if you come in a rush, you want the residency for next week, you want to reach Spain, you want to have your flat ready, whatever, you set up a company and you want the notary to sign it faster. Well, no, they will take their time. You come and buy a house and you want to do a reform or whatever. So many people in Spain will tell you forget about it. You'll take, like, if they tell you 1 month, it will, like, you will take like 3 or more. If they tell you 1 year, you will take like 3 or more. Okay, so just triplicate everything people say, mm, double or triple it, and you'll have
Yeah.
the timing that probably will work for you. Okay,
Probably.
probably.
Excellent. Well, we're moving on in time, talking about timing. So I'll tell you what, I'll ask you one more question. In the meantime, if anybody else has any more questions on the live chat, ask them now so that we can get them in before the end of the show. So this one is more about you, Maria. Let's find out about you. Yeah, we were chatting the other day and you said you really enjoy the challenges of your job, and it does sound challenging, especially up there in the busy part of Spain. And what is it that gives you the drive? What is it that inspires you to do what you do?
Well, first, because I can afford it. It's weird to say it, but it's true. So I work in two areas. I work in companies and in immigration. So obviously, companies allow me enough fees to afford a life so that my work in immigration that does not give enough to live I can do it in order to help people. So I really enjoy to help people in front of the administration because, first of all, we are like the only one capable of going against the administration when something is wrong. So that I don't know, like in the US, they have the Second Amendment, that they have guns and whatever, they can use it against the administration if the government goes crazy or whatever, but we don't. Okay, so the only Second Amendment that we have in Spain is lawyers. Okay, so the lawyers are the only one that find something wrong, is not correct or is not correctly applied or whatever. They go against the administration. They go like they follow the stairs of the administration until they reach the upper files and they can do something and maybe change some laws or adapt to the reality, or like helping on a micro level or a macro level. Like the macro level, you can reach there and maybe do some changes in laws or suggest some changes, but you have a micro level that you help somebody with a specific problem that was not existing, like anything similar or very few similar cases, and you can present like a situation that others following you will use, you know. So if you win a certain case, you win a case against the administration, and next one that will come will benefit from that winning. You will not have to go again through the same problem. So that is very important. So in reality, in Spain, like this is the situation. You as a lawyer, you can work into helping people into repairing some situations that are not considered correct, because what is legal is not necessarily correct or moral, as we all know. So you as a lawyer, you help people in order to make it like better as much as you can. You are not a I don't know, magical person to do, I don't know, some sort of magical tricks. You cannot do magic, but definitely you can help solving problems.
So
And
helping people is what inspires you. That is lovely.
yes.
So me too. Let's have a look. Barry from Unitech says, totally unrelated, but you've put the wrong email address for Fran, the property lawyer, in the link list below. Yes, we do have a list of links in the video description. It should be what I've done with Fran, the lawyer, and some other places too, including the dentist that did my teeth. I've put one of my email addresses, YouTooSmile@gmail.com, so that they come through to me first and then I pass them on, because sometimes I know what different people, the details that they need, and I have to ask that before I send them on and then put you into contact with people that I'm affiliated with and that I recommend. So yes, it's YouTooSmile, same as the U2 of YouTooSpain, YouTooSmile@gmail.com. I'll just check up on that afterwards to make sure it's not got changed in the list. There we go. So thank you for letting me know, Barry. So if anyone's got any more questions, be very quick. But if you don't get them in while we're live today, then you can ask in the comments. I was going to say in the video description. You can't do that. It's in the comments. That's where you ask. And if you're watching the video back afterwards, which most people do, I think, over the course of the next day or so, or month or week or year, whatever, then you can ask questions in the comments, and I'll pass them on to Maria if I can't answer them myself. So anything else to tell us before we say goodbye, Maria? Maria, are you still there? Anything else to tell us before we say goodbye? Can you hear me?
Okay, so everything, I don't know if everybody wants to contact with us, you can contact Skatz. He will be sure to get us in touch for whichever consultation or issue you may want to to get more information. And I wish you all a very nice cloudy weekend and enjoy Spain, the ones that can or can afford. Okay.
Brilliant. Well, make sure you click on the like button, everybody, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll tell you in a moment who your special guest will be next week. But first, let's give Maria a big virtual kiss and a hug and say goodbye for now. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, and hopefully we'll see you again one day.
Thanks.
Bye.
Great. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And there we go. So who do we have on the show next week? Of course, every fortnight we have Chris from Upsticks, and that's our regular fortnightly format where we answer all of your questions, and we always have a special short feature at the beginning about the most important issue of the week, followed by some frequently asked questions and any questions from you. And of course, there's also the argument, the debate at the end of the show about something important or usually hilarious or both. And it's going to be next week, it's going to be something like bionic versus radioactive, because I'm calling Chris bionic from now on because of all of the pins he's going to have in his arm. And I'm the radioactive one. So you can ask questions about that. That's just going to be a ridiculous debate, but it's going to be fun for all of you. So thanks to all of you for joining us and leaving comments and hitting the like button and supporting us with donations and memberships. It's very much appreciated. I'll see you either on the midweek video or live on Saturday mornings at the regular time of 9 o'clock if you're in the UK or Ireland or Portugal, or 10 o'clock in the morning if you're in Spain or Central Europe. And that is all for this week. Someone pass around the legal cookies, and it's peace and love from me, peas and fluff. And here's one final message from all of the voices in my head at YouTooSpain. I will see you soon. Bye for now. Goodbye, toodaloo, peace and love, peas and fluff, oi oi, don't do anything I wouldn't do. One more cosmic dance? Alright then. Look mum, I'm dancing. Oh, I'm all a quiver. Let's dance.